Well, hello people, and welcome back to another Cities 2 Top 5 map video. Hope you're having a wonderful day. As always, we have 5 more wonderful maps to check out here, so let's get stuck into them and see exactly what wonderful maps are now available on the PDX Mod store. So Bayport, Michigan is based off exactly that, Bayport, Michigan in the real-life United States. Very cool inspiration from Rafterman here, who we've featured his maps many times before. He's a wonderful map builder and has done some really nice things here. It is a North American theme map with all of its outside connections, a 61% buildable area, and all of its natural resources. All those natural resources, pretty much the entire map is fertile with a very strong concentration of ore. This is mimicking real life where there is a quarry here in Michigan, with your coastline holding pretty much all of your oil. And it has to be said, there's something to behold, isn't there, for that endless farmland like you find in kind of the northeastern United States, where it goes on for miles through like Nebraska and is it Idaho, and then eventually comes into Wisconsin. Is it? I'm not too familiar with that area of the states, but just that endless, relentless, never-ending farmland in every direction. With these little farmsteads as well. There's loads of these custom across the map. Very inspiring. Super simple, right? It's a dirt road and a barn. It's so charming. And these are all over the map. So you can add to these further development if you want. Really nice rural vibes, streams passing through the fields too. Very, very nice. Really nicely done countryside. Lots more of these homesteads over this way as well. Rural power line as well, isn't that great? That look gorgeous. Absolutely. I love a bit of country detailing. I'm very appreciative of this Rafterman. This is great. Very nice. And that continues in pretty much all directions until you arrive at your massive ore pit, which, again, Rafters has detailed into a aesthetically working quarry. So you just come in here with your specialized industry, and it's all set up for you. There's a train line here as well. It's very nice. There's a lot of props and rocks down here. You can feel it in the frame rate when you get up to it. Although I am recording as well at the same time, so your mileage may vary with the props in the middle there, but of course it's all adjustable. Super nice as well. Oh, way, yeah, look at that. Like for casual map detailing, this is almost a build in itself, you know. It's like super nice. All this infrastructure is just sat here waiting to be expanded. Very, very inspiring. I kind of like it when the map maker leaves a palette, if you like, something for you to pick up and work with in an area. And then the coastline is very, very long and flat indeed. So you could build up a nice big coastal metropolis, a real CBD, and then fade off into that endless farmland. Of course, you could just go for a straight recreation as well, because this is real life topography, as editing I would have left up, I'm sure, with some wonderful Google Earth shots of the area. Like how in the countryside you've got more stream and farmhouse configurations. Very nice. Like, to go to this effort with the detailing out here is very much appreciated. I think you could quite easily set up a town on one of these street corners and do some really fun things with the road builder as well. To build custom intersections as you sort of grow out from a kind of a crossroads, if you like. Very nice, super inspiring. And as always, Rafterman hits it out of the park. Definitely give this one a download. I would love to build on this one day, actually. We've never really taken inspiration from that part of America, so maybe we do go for essentially maybe our ILOS attempt. Maybe when some custom assets arrive, we can head toward this part of America. Very cool, it's very unique as well. Endless farm space with like little townsteads and industry scattered with a coastline. A lot of fun to be had here, I think. Check this one out. Nice map. Daybreak is a North American themed map. It has a 39% buildable area. You will experience winter here. You have all of your outside connections, and all natural resources are available. For those interested in the natural resources, you'll tend to find the fertile land in and around these valleys that are created by some slightly more elevated topography as it backs up away from the coastlines, with ore present along those ridge lines that are created from the mountains too. You also have a very unique starting tile on this map as well, as it sits up against the shoreline. One of my favourite things about this map is its topography. It's a real nice rolling hills map. There's lots of little ridges to explore. And, the rivers cutting through it are very nice as well. I like these geographical features. I think it's very helpful as to when to kind of start and stop builds rather than working with huge flat spaces. And this is a really tasteful terrain. Just kind of gentle rolling hills, nothing too threatening. But really nicely done with a nice national kind of road hierarchy passing through rather than enormous 3-lane beast. So it's really nicely done. It's really cute. larger interchange over here. You can disappear back into countryside as you head toward the coastline. So super interesting map, really nice bridges too. Inclusion of rail in very dramatic fashion, passing over a bit of a delta here by the coastline. Use of the ships if you wanted to almost go for a Miami-esque kind of build here, super touristic on the waterfront. Chicago perhaps. Although Chicago would also be suited to the previous map we looked at as well. So really like it, it's just really nicely done. They're not overly done either, just very tasteful. And there's little lakes and streams to be made use of as well, scattered around. Lots of lovely little valleys. Just really love cruising around this place. And there's lots of potential with it across the map with another little dumbbell interchange a little further toward the edge. With again, some very nice integration of the rail. But otherwise, Daybreak, it's pretty simple, but it's done extremely well. Some really nice topography to play with here with no insane mountains that might be a little threatening to some people. And lots of space to go for a variety of style builds here. Really nice networks, lovely rivers, nice hills. Give Daybreak a try. Nice map, this one. Next up is Dunedin, again inspired by a real life location in New Zealand. Another Rafterman map in the Northern Hemisphere. You will experience winter here. Only a 24% buildable area, but all connections and resources are available. Taking a look at those natural resources, most of the major ridge lines contain some kind of ore deposit, with lots of fertile land scattered pretty much everywhere, with little pockets of oil tucked around in both areas of the map. And it is indeed a wonderful, wonderful map. So again, based off a real life location in New Zealand, parallel networks here. Very, very tasteful field detailing. I'll have to remember this one. Up in the bushes here, just the cultivated flower bush in a row makes a great field aesthetic, doesn't it? Very nice, that. Rafterman is a great map detailer. You always find tons of this stuff around his work. Nice use of the textures here as well. And power lines. Yes, what is. More of the perfect countryside aesthetic, animal spawners around here as well. Coastline is nice and developed for a big CBD with a nice big kind of head point here on the cliff. That'd make a great kind of tourist attraction, wouldn't it? Super nice landscape here. Two little lakes tucked into the foothills of the mountains as it begins to rise up around a huge lake. That has some nice network action here crossing over. And there's also what looks to be the beginnings of a little town here that just dying to be expanded, isn't it? Isn't that absolutely wonderful? Love that. So nice. Prop work on a map is always massively appreciated when they go to this much effort. And just nice texture work. Rafterman, he keeps it real simple, but it's so effective, isn't it? Really nice work around here. Just establish a town. There's little rail yards down here as well with more marina looking work. Even got some tourism sort of blending of assets in there as well. Very interesting, right? So you'll find these little pockets of personality all over his maps. More really interesting network spice over here, right? Super creative. Let's watch this train come past here. Should be very exciting, shouldn't it? See if we can watch it pass by in front of all these mountains. Hold on. Oh, isn't that brilliant? Isn't that so brilliant? Fantastic. So super nice map. Comes up into really nice, quite tall mountains as well. Before the map spills into valleys and streams, just gorgeous. Turns out New Zealand is a fantastic place to take topography from. This isn't the first New Zealand map we've had from Rafters. I think I'm going to need to build on one day. I'm a huge fan of all the New Zealand maps we've seen. Very, very nice. I know we tend to gravitate mostly towards the United States for our inspiration. But this is really nice over here. Cute little network designs like this knocking about too. Oh, custom slip lanes and whatnot. That's always nice when you see that kind of stuff, isn't it? And then this spills International Road Network where you arrive at that shoreline again. With some nice tasteful field work. Again, more rail yards and a great little custom intersections here using the highway roads. I really love the highway roads. I love seeing how everyone uses these to create these little custom T-junctions, whereas this would have been a pretty serious kind of node control and intersection marking job in CS1 to create something like this. But it's really interesting just to see how it helps me learn as well, you know, seeing how people piece together these little custom configurations. So always love to see it. And then back to more fields, and it spills onto its coastline. And all in all, a really wonderful map. Some small lakes out here as well. And as always, Rafterman smashes it out of the park. One of my favourite map builders at the minute. I'd definitely give this one a go. I'll probably say I want to try this one the most for the New Zealand maps one day. I would possibly expect an egg build here at some point in the future. So Draconia is actually a map built for a collab between Octopolis and Barbosa cities. It's a North American themed map where you will experience winter. It also has a 42% buildable area, all outside connections, and all resources are available. Speaking of those natural resources, pretty much all of the lower lands around the rivers and the bays are fertile land, with oil sprinkled around a main kind of slick up to the northwest, with huge ore deposits right at the tops of the mountains. And again, this is just a real simple map that offers a really interesting landscape to start working with. You do have rolling hills around here, but the kind of winding rivers as they all emerge out into the bay is a really nice landscape to work with. Super densely forested as well, so you could set up a real kind of rural country vibe over here. There is that smaller, kind of more tame national road network as well, which I much more prefer, as opposed to the huge chunky 3-lane highways everywhere. It's kind of like rural country roads take me home is very much my vibe. I really like seeing this. A nice layering of the internal train line here as well. It flows all up and around these riverlands, and then it does actually emerge into this nightingale just right here, where you do have 2 road connections and 2 empty train connections, so a really fantastic starting area for the city here. To emerge and build your first town out this way, and then you can really do as much as you like with it. It's a really cool map. Apparently this was built as a collab map, so I'd love to check that out and just see what those people have decided to do with this map. Real nice networks kind of bending in and out of valleys as the train line hugs the coast and meets back up with the road through here. They're all really nice tucked away spaces. Lots of little rural towns with a slightly larger town, maybe more on the bays over here would be a great idea for this map, I think. Super densely forested too. And then that kind of completes. At this edge you've got a big peninsula that juts out too, which it gets pretty gnarly kind of cliff headland toward the edge, but the other sides of it are all more than buildable. Lots of park space here, perhaps a lighthouse even. It might be a nice idea. And there's lots more very beautiful, very densely forested shoreline over here too. Yeah, as one of the roads emerges into the outside connections, you can follow it back through this way. Yeah, and then it emerges into more of that kind of riverland shoreline vibe with that embanked train line passing through it, of which we can enjoy while the train's passing by now. It should be quite enjoyable, we hope. There you go. There's 2 of them. No. How exciting. There you go. And they go back into the forest train line over there. So a really nice map. Again, it's not kind of too over the top and not too kind of daunting either in its kind of approach. You know, it's so unique. What can you do with it? It's just a really nice, simple vanilla map with nice networks, nice rivers, and a pretty nice palette to go at it and build whatever you want with the outside power connection also really nearby as well. Decent map, Draconia. Check it out. So West Side Los Angeles by Ami Palazzi Funk is of course based off of a real life topography map of the west side of Los Angeles. As a North American theme map, you will not experience a winter here. Has a 46% buildable area. All outside connections and all resources are available. In terms of where you'll find these resources, pretty much all of the land is fertile, with oil knocking around in the south, and the ore up in the northern mountain range. So for those I've been following Sully's wonderful Venice Beach build, you will of course know this. This is of course inspired and pretty much taken these out of topography, using the height maps here to create the west side of LA. So if you want to play this map, you kind of egged on to go for at least a very LA inspired build, if not a full recreation. But your starting tile is over here. You do have a very cool sort of configuration to start playing with here. Very Los Angeles, isn't it? I also love the fact as well we've got these big, thick 5-lane highways. Very, very LA, isn't it? So, but the total opposite of everything looked at today, where we had lots of nice kind of small country roads. Not here. This is LA. Welcome to 5, 6, 7, 8-lane highways, and a gorgeous, massive custom interchange, which I believe it was by Teddy Radko, I think, if I remember rightly. So always love a Teddy collab in any city, and of course, A wonderful interchange here that we see in LA. Trains woven underneath it as well. Really nice slip lane, actually, just superb interchange work. Really love how all this came out. So this sits in the heart of your map, goes off down towards your starting tile there. All the topography here is pretty much taken from LA. A huge marina over here, of course. You get lots of big commercial districts around here, and then if you would come on to what would be Venice Beach, and currently what Sully is doing in his insanely detailed Venice Beach series, so check that out if you haven't seen it. Little bits of rock work along the coastline, and then you do head up into some severe mountains on the north side of LA. Pretty unbuildable up here, but it would give you a real nice countryside vibe. Little mountain streams trickling down through these big kind of valleys. Really pretty landscape here. I think there's even a little lake dotted about here as well, isn't there? Yes, there is. There's the edge of our map boundary. There's a little lake up here. Definitely try to build a little resort if you could somehow find a way to weave a road with one of these things. Very big, impressive mountain ridges, isn't it? I always love seeing the real-life height maps and terrains kind of translated into CS2. It gives it a much more kind of dramatic atmosphere, doesn't it? Especially running through this little valley here with the little stream. I'm not massively familiar with the kind of topography of LA, to be honest. It's not a city I really head to inspiration for that often. Just because I guess it's kind of overly popular, isn't it? Everyone always looks at LA. Look at this. Golf course from AMI. What a wonderful little use of the decals, right? Not the decals of the surfaces. That's so cool. What a wonderful little gesture just to have that there. That's very cute. That's probably one of the most clever uses I've seen of the services, actually, to paint out a little golf course like that. Really creative. So there's little landmarks dotted around the map like that. See all these little natural terrain lines as well generating. So definitely not a flat map by any means. You will be dealing with hills here. And of course, an enormous kind of waterfront to deal with over this side too. Guessing there's just kind of a lot of runoffs, is it, of the this would be the LA River, I think, wouldn't it? If my very brief time looking at Los Angeles actually translates to anything in my head. I'm pretty sure it's the LA River here. And then lots of little kind of natural marinas and housing districts to generate around these waterways. Again, but pretty much if you're going to play this, definitely be glancing back into at Los Angeles in Google Earth for inspiration. But really wonderful map. As I mentioned, I love seeing these real life cities translated into the game. Super cool. You could take it LA inspired, or you could do it totally different. But either way, if you haven't seen Sully's build on this map, 100% worth checking out. If it doesn't inspire you to play this, nothing will. So, show Sully some love. AMI is a great map builder, and it's always nice to see a Teddy collab. Great map, West Side. Give it a look. Otherwise, guys, that will do it for today. Massive shout out to all the patrons supporting the channel, with a special roll call to Louis Adlam and Oh Hey Casino. If you're interested in that, Patreon and Instant Gaming down below. Let me know what you think of these maps. I always love putting these map tier lists together. It's so cool to see how the map making process and quality is improving over time with CS2. Like some of these maps and some of the ones we haven't covered today as well. Of course, there's too many to cover in one video. We'll definitely keep these top 5 map tier lists going because I know you guys really enjoy them. It's a nice way just to see what's new when you're in the mood to start a new city, isn't it? I really like this one. I am an enormous lover of Dunedin. Rafterman is quickly becoming one of my favourite map makers in the community. Really, really nice work from him. All the maps, as always, are linked down below, so check them out if you're interested. Otherwise, let's thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.